Hey, shipmates, how's it going? I'm Michael Little, the PAO of the Aviation Boatswain's Mates Association, and want to welcome everybody who's here to meet our 2020 ABs of the year. This is going to be a podcast we're going to start doing over the course of the next few months, as we're going to try to Aviation Boatswain Mates as possible. So we're really excited. So far, we've been able to reach about 50 of our 88 ABs of the year. A lot of the ABs that I'm having trouble communicating with, I'll be putting a list out and seeing if you can help me identify some of those sailors. So going to be a lot of fun. About 20 or 24 or so of them have definitely said they want to come on and do an interview and talk about what it was like to be the AB of the year for the year. So a lot of interesting stories that we're going to hear over the course of the time that we cover that. And next week, we're actually going to be hearing from the first ABs of the year. So we've located Bob Way. They are both on board and they want to tell their story and they want to meet our sailors that are out there. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. If you have any questions for future episodes or things that you would like to see us do, feel free to email me at podcast@abmatacusn.org. We're hoping to expand this to be kind of, instead of the newsletters that I was putting out, doing a little bit more face-to-face time with you. So we want to bring you the most up-to-date AB information that we can, and we want to make sure that we're sharing it with you. So throughout the course of this podcast today, this will be aired live on Facebook and YouTube. Feel free to ask us questions in the comment bar below, and we'll share those with our ABs of the year and allow them to answer the questions that you're asking. So without further ado, I'm really excited to bring our guest on. So I'll start with our East Coast AB of the year, ABH1, Michael John C. Stennis. So welcome aboard, shipmate. And next up is our West Coast AB of the year, ABH1, Stephanie M. Peterson. So welcome aboard, shipmates. Thanks for being here and taking the time to talk to us tonight. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Great.
Nice. Congratulations to both of you. As you know, this important things that'll happen, at this point in your career, and we're excited to help you share that story. And we're really excited to have you a part of the Aviation Boatswain Mate Association. So why don't we jump to introductions, and we'll start with ABH1 Michael Riter here.
Hey, thanks ABH2. I appreciate it. Hi, I'm ABH1 Michael Riter. I've been in the Navy for 15 years now. I'm currently stationed on board USS John C. Stennis, stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. My first tour of duty was the USS Theodore Roosevelt, followed by the USS George H.W. Bush. Then I went to instructor duty and taught at SWAS Ellis Norfolk Farrier Firefighting School.
All right, shipmate. So, and then we'll go to our West Coast Sailor of the Year, ABH1 Stephanie Peterson.
Yes, thank you,
Tell us
Michael.
about yourself, shipmate.
I'm ABH1 Peterson, currently stationed on the USS MAKIN Island. Been in for about 12 years. My first tour was the George Washington out in Japan. Left the George Washington, went to HSC 3. HSC 3 went to USS Pelu. After USS Pelu, went back to Japan, Conflict Activities Yokosuka, and now I am on MAKIN Island.
All right. So, as I said before, if you have any questions, feel free to drop the questions in the comment bar below. And as I see them come up, we'll go ahead and share those questions with the ABs of the year. So, shipmates, what was it like? What was it like to first tell us what was it like to even know you were nominated? What was the process like? How did this happen? How did you even get nominated for this? Either one of you.
Well, I'll tell you, just the nomination in itself was enough for me. It was very humbling to know that all of my peers saw something in me to put me in that position. And I'm extremely grateful for that. That told me that whatever I was doing in their eyes was right. And that was it. That was enough. So it was amazing finding out that I had received that nomination.
So when they put the package together, are you aware of the package? Is there an interview that's part of it? Did they do it all behind your back? Stephanie, what was that process like? Do you know?
So there wasn't an interview. I did know of the package and I knew of the AV of the Year and the process of it. So they just kind of asked for some of your past history and everything like that. But then after that, it's out of my hands. I don't know how it works for ABH1 on the west or the East Coast, but once you give your information, it's kind of out of your hands and they process it through the chain of command. And from there, they sit aboard. And yeah, like Michael said, just being nominated was like awesome and humbling.
That's cool. So we'll start. I'll pose this to each of you, and Michael, tell me about how did you find out? What was the emotion? How did it all happen? Tell me about it.
Well, I actually found out from my commanding officer. I came to work that morning, and my air boss had grabbed me up the office and said, "Let's take a walk." Next thing I know, I was standing at attention by the commanding officer's office, and which, to be honest with you, was a little bit nerve-wracking because anytime somebody gets called to the commanding officer's office, they start to think, "What if? Why are you there?" So he finally comes out. He calls me in, and I go in, and it wasn't just him. It was the CMC and the air boss and the aircraft handling officer and my department LCPO. And he sits me down and he asks me, "Do you know why you're here?" And I was thinking the worst, but no, I didn't. And then he followed that up with revealing to me that I had been selected for ABD on the East Coast, and it was awesome. It was amazing.
Same time you're being selected for this high honor, so that's great. Actually, I like that. Stephanie, tell us about your experience.
Okay, so I found out actually through Facebook. Boats and Die Start was the first one to congratulate me on Facebook. When I first saw the message, I was like, "Well, what is he talking about?" Didn't know what he was talking about. I was on the ship, so I walked into my air department office. My DLCPO mini boss is there, and I was like, "Hey, Master Chief, have you seen this?" And I showed him the message, and he was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Let's see if the message is out." So then we looked up the message, and the message is out, and there I was, Stephanie M. Peterson on there. So I was really shocked, really nervous. Like I was really taken by surprise. Absolutely.
Well, so we learned one thing: carriers definitely get messages quicker than amphibs. So
absolutely,
two different answers. That's awesome. So when you found it on Facebook, like you were just in disbelief. You were like, no, they were wrong.
Yes, I was definitely in disbelief. I was like, what is he talking about? Like total shock.
So I had actually known for about a week prior to both of you finding out, and I wanted to do something so bad, and I couldn't because I had to wait for the Navy chain to pass it down. But when they came and they told us, I was with the president doing another interview, and we were both like, we were ready to go on it, but we had to let the proper chains do the way that they were doing it. So I knew before you guys, and I was so excited. I wanted to reach out and tell you, but they wouldn't let me. So they said no. So I had to wait too. So have either one of you been a part of the ABMA in the past? You're both stationed in the Tidewater and in the San Diego areas. What's your interaction with the ABMA been like?
I've been heavily involved with ABMA out here in San Diego. I was a 1-year board of directors out here, always involved in like the fundraisers and the ABMA that we actually hosted over here, the symposium. So definitely involved.
What about you, Michael? Involvement in the ABMA at all?
Yeah, so I've been involved with the Tidewater chapter recently, and it's unfortunate that there's not a lot going on right now due to COVID. So I'm kind of looking forward to that ending, so we can get back to our monthly meetings and talking about some of the things that we plan on doing. Which will be fairly simple because the president of the Tidewater chapter is also stationed on board John C. Stennis. So I'm tracking the information that he's putting out, and we're looking forward to that.
So what are some of the benefits that you see of ABs being a member of the Aviation Boatswain Association? In your own experience, you got an opportunity to talk to some of your junior shipmates. What are some of the perks that you see about this for them?
I would say our biggest perk would just be receiving that knowledge from that senior leadership, and then also from junior sailors. Some of us have been in a while, we might not see it the same way that a junior sailor sees it, that's just coming in as an AB, but definitely receiving that knowledge from the senior leadership.
What about you, Michael?
Yeah, same thing. And to add on to that, one of the reasons why I look forward to going to the ABMA Association meetings is it's not just ABs that are there. They tend to bring a lot of outsiders who are responsible for our equipment and a lot of things that are going on. We constantly talk about things that aren't just going on in present day, but things that we're heading towards down in the future. And which is good because things change every day, every month, every year. Our rate has come a long way. Our community's come a long way. Flying has come a long way. So it's good to get that knowledge, as Aviation said.
Nice. So a couple questions have come in. So before we go down our list, we'll go to those. So a very important question came, and this guy actually wants you to call him tomorrow. It's kind of important. So Senior Chief Michael Walsh wants to know, are you both ready to go back to sea? And, what other question would a detailer be asking? So I'll let each of you talk about that. I think you're both on sea duty. So tell me about it, because it sounds like our shipmate's ready to send you back to another command. So let's go. Michael, you want to start that off?
Yeah, the question is most definitely yes. I'm looking forward to that. Being selected as AB of the year is not the finish line. It's not the end. It's just the beginning. I have a ton of professional goals set out, and a lot of it involves being back at sea. So yes, I am.
It's a good answer.
Hey, ABH1 hit it right on spot. ABH1 hit it right on spot. Completely, definitely ready to go back out to sea. Getting ready to do this Makin Island deployment. Come back, and hey, I'm ready. Send me where I'm needed.
All right. So, like I said, a follow up to that. We'll do a follow up from him. But oh wait, wrong one. He's the AB lead detailer. He needs you both to reach out to him tomorrow. So we do a lot of things with the detailers on our Facebook page. Share a lot of their information. Senior Walsh and Senior Tracy. Our Facebook page, ABs. If it's not something that they don't want out there, we're not going to put it out there. But as soon as they give it to us, I throw it up immediately. So shipmates, make sure you're following the page. But you two definitely need to make sure you give him a call tomorrow. Stephanie, you talk about getting ready to go to sea. You're getting ready to go to sea. You're married. You have two children, 2 daughters. Tell me, what does this award mean in the you're going to be able to tell your children someday about this?
Sorry, Michael, you went out a little. Can you repeat it?
Oh yeah. So I'm asking about your daughters,
yeah,
and what this award will mean whenever you're able to explain it to them. Can you talk to us about what that's going to look like? And you're getting ready to go on deployment. So what's it like to leave your family behind, and but also knowing that you're obviously one of our elites. So talk to us a little bit about the family life with this.
So of course it's always a sad thing to leave your family, but I think I've done a lot of sitting down with my husband and my children, and they understand, where I'm at in the Navy and where I want to be, where my end goal is to be in the Navy. And this is just one reflection to kind of show all my hard work does pay off. And so just to explain to them, I need to continue to push hard for them.
Does your daughter, are your daughters aware of what you're doing right now? Like, do they know like about you're in the Navy and the job that you do?
Absolutely.
Nice. And so, do you think that they're future ABs? Are they going to follow in mom's footsteps?
I don't think so. I don't
No?
know if we're gonna allow them to join the Navy, but hey, if they want to join, then they absolutely can only be ABs. They don't get to pick anything else.
That a girl. That a girl. Now, Michael, you're not married. You don't have children, but obviously, like, it sounded like from our conversation earlier, like it's not something that's, it might be something that might be happening down the road a ways. How do you plan on sharing this story and this experience with your family down the road?
Well, I don't really know exactly how far down the road that is. I just take it day by day. But whenever that time does come and it presents itself, then we'll have that conversation, both with the spouse and the children. And it'll be positive in nature, and we'll leave thought-provoking questions in their head and allow them to make decisions for themselves. I'll support my children with whatever it is that they want to do. But like Aviation 1 Stephanie Peterson said, if they're going to join the Navy, they're going to be a Navy.
Absolutely.
I like it. That was a good answer, shipmate. That was a good answer. Back to the questions here. So, Commander Flournoy wants to know how will they both be presented the traditional blazers? Well, shipmate, that will happen in San Diego at the 50th anniversary working group that we're going to have next year. Everyone should be aware at this point that the 49th working group was canceled due to COVID-19 down in Pensacola. Unfortunately, these shipmates will not be able to receive their awards until we get to San Diego. But we wanted to make sure that we honored them and recognize them for their hard work and dedication. And so that's what started this series between a conversation between the national president and I had. And so, like I said, this is going to be one of multiple conversations we have with the other ABs of the year where we highlight them as well. And so that presentation and the normal presentation from the ABMA will still happen at a working group, but it will not happen officially until next year. So sorry, guys, you have to wait a year for your blazer, but it'll be worth the wait. I guarantee it. We had one of our other ABs of the year who sends us congratulations. Rob Donaldson, the ABOY in 1992, sends us congrats. I'm just scrolling through the comments here. If anyone has questions, feel free to drop them below, and we'll get them and we'll ask these awesome, outstanding ABs your questions that you have. Someone was asking about memorabilia. I'm not sure where that question went to. But when we get there, here's one. What are some good AB memorabilia that you've seen around the fleet? You guys had an opportunity to be on a couple commands. What's some of the things that stood out that swag wise that you guys have come across?
Well, I'm a big fan of hooded sweatshirts. I absolutely love hooded sweatshirts. And every time I go to the ABMA, I went to the 2018 one. I made sure that I picked up a couple of those. I absolutely loved those hoodies. And oh, by the way, those hoodies are up and available on the ship store on the ABMA website.
They are. We just did that. Stephanie, what about you? What's the coolest swag you've come across?
So I would definitely say like coins. We have a lot of like sailors that personally make AB coins, and just one of the guys on my ship, ABH2 Evans, has a coin that he made. Pretty awesome. So reach out to those sailors, see those personalized coins that they're making for ABs.
And it wouldn't be an ABMA show if I didn't pitch the ship store. Thanks a lot, ABH1 Riter. That was good. We do have our new ship store up and running. It has a lot of the old stuff that we've always carried. A lot of things that only we can get from certain military retailers will continue to have that, belt buckles, golden wings and whatnot. But we also have just signed into a contract with Queensboro, and Queensboro is a stitching company where you can buy things to have, to be made. So this is actually one of the zip up hoodies that I bought recently with, actually it's got my company patch on it, but then it's got my AB wings. And so, cool things that we're trying to do. We're just trying to bring you guys more stuff. So you can get t-shirts, you can get sweatshirts, you can get Carhartt jackets, you can get Under Armour gear, bags, whatever. I mean, you name it. And we're adding more stuff to it every day. We have all the different colors of all the different ABs that you would have wore throughout your career. So you don't have to get everything in yellow. If you were an ABE, you can get green. If you were an ABF, you can get purple. And it's actually purple. It's not magenta. So check it out. You go to abmashipstore.qbstores.com, or you just go to abma-usn.org, like you see in the bottom of the screen, and it'll take you right to the ship store there. So let's go on to our next question. So shipmates, you now have a platform, and it's not just any platform. It is a platform where you're going to be able to be in the spotlight of your sailors that are out there. So is there anything that you want to express to your shipmates, and what do you want to do over the course of the next year while you are the sailor in that spotlight as the AB of the year? Either one of you want to go first? Just let me know.
Sure. Easy day. One of the reasons why I joined the Navy was to see what I can do for everyone as an individual. I came from a really small town. I didn't really have that opportunity there, and then I joined the Navy. And now at this point in time, being selected as an AB of the year, I finally have that opportunity. And it's nice that we're not called ABH of the year or ABE of the year or ABF of the year. It's AB of the year. And I get a chance to speak to each and every one of you. I want to let you know that there's an entire community out there that has a plethora of mentorship and guidance and technical knowledge out there for you, and they're willing and ready to just give that to you if you just reach out. This community is so good at networking, and they have so much to offer, and I've learned so much from this community, and I want to give back that same amount that I've learned to you guys, both personally and professionally.
Good answer. Stephanie.
So I agree with ABH1 again. We have so much knowledge, and knowledge is power within our community. So I just want to be able to push what I have, my knowledge, and then continue to get these sailors involved to get knowledge from everybody around.
All right. So actually I have a question that didn't pop up on the screen here. So I'm going to go to it real quick, and we'll ask that question from Lieutenant Martinez. What are some recommendations for your junior ABs who want to become ABOYs? What would you tell those sailors that might want to be in your position someday?
Yeah. So first and foremost, it comes down to being so simple. Is one, do your job, and whatever that entails, just do your job. Show up every day, ready to go, execute smartly, safely, and then add on to that. Don't stop there. Make yourself better, both personally and professionally, every single day. Learn, volunteer, go to school, take on challenges that you think that you might not be able to do, and that's a good one. You'll never know what your limits are if you don't try to tackle something that is difficult.
Yes, definitely. I would say push the limits and push your expectations. You expect a lot, and you got to continue to push hard and work hard for that, and just continue to learn professionally and personally, as ABH1 said. And anything that you need, we have like the best networking output that anybody can help with each other.
Nice. Very well. Very well. Rob Donaldson wants to know what are your career ambitions next? What's next for the A boys? We'll start with Stephanie on this one.
My career ambitions, I'm still kind of stuck in between if I want to continue on the enlisted side or go officer side, but I just want to continue pushing. It doesn't stop here from here. So I want to continue getting those extra quals, going to different platforms, any platform that I can be able to go on and getting that experience and those qualifications.
As for me, first and foremost, I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully becoming a part of the Chiefs Mess. That's another group of people who have done so much for me and all the sailors around me. So first and foremost that, but I also have a desire to become a chief warrant officer one day as well. I think that I would be a great asset to that community, and it's something that I would really like to do and become a part of.
Nice. I want to welcome a very good friend of mine, Rear Admiral Eric Coy, who's joined the conversation. Admiral Coy was the CNRC for the reserves, Chief of Navy Reserve Readiness Command. So he's watching you guys. You guys have a heck of an audience that's watching tonight. A couple of MCPONs have jumped on, and I want to thank the MCPONs who have joined us here today. We're getting a lot of attention. So you guys are definitely in a good spotlight here today. Shipmates, I wanted to tell you, you're both talking about if you want to go into the officer field or if you wanted to, go into the thing. A lot of these A-boys that I've had the honor of talking to the last few days, they've done exactly the things that you said that you're kind of interested in. We're going to be talking to R.D. Jones, who was the A-boy in the, I believe he was in the late 80s, first ABE captain to come out of the ranks. We have a couple of other captains that have been former ABs of the year. So, the possibilities are endless for you. So, keep up those goals that you have. It sounds like you're both pressing on them, and that's good stuff there. So, you're now going to be joining the board of directors of the Aviation Boatswain's Mates Association. So that's something that someone just said we need an AB as a MCPON. So I don't know. Maybe it's one of you guys. I don't know. So you're joining the board of directors of the ABMA. You're seeing a lot of changes that are happening with the ABMA currently. So are there any projects that either of you are interested in exploring as you take on this new role that I believe you'll join in August around the time frame?
I would like to try to start up something with the study sessions and just helping junior sailors get better knowledgeable to help with these exams. Our rates alone, the quotas are pretty tight, so just pushing out that extra knowledge so then they get extra knowledge and get the study material that they need.
That's good.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be nice, first of all, to sit down and have a conversation with some of the members that are on the board and see where their mindsets are at and see if my mindset is tracking as the same as theirs. There's definitely a lot of programs that don't just affect just ABs, but sailors in general that either need to be changed or revamped, and hopefully this platform will allow us to become involved and have a voice to be heard to do something like that.
Very well. As a member of the board, I welcome your conversations, and I look forward to both of you as we discuss how to make some of those a reality. Let's see if we had any questions that I missed during that time. Remember, if you have questions for either of the A-boys, please enter them in the question comments below, and we will get to them and we will ask these ABs to answer those questions for you. So shipmates, the ABMA is definitely trying to push membership in 2020. And we've been accomplishing this by one, engaging with members that we had lost first and foremost. And if those of the ABs don't know, in the last 3 weeks we've actually launched a new membership program to replace the way we were tracking membership before. And so last week I went live and we talked a lot about this. But now we have this program in place, and we've identified about 700 ABs whose dues had lapsed and you're delinquent in our system. and we want to make sure that we're connecting with as many of the ABs as we can that are out there. This organization is for you. It's run by ABs. And we need you. Things like this happen because we have we have funds to do it. So we definitely appreciate you joining. We also have a problem we've lost contact with about 600 or so of our members that don't either have email addresses, or you gave us an email address a long time ago when you were on a ship that you're no longer stationed on. So if that's the case and you are a member of the ABMA and you've not been hearing from us, please email us and we'll make sure that we can get back in touch with you, get your membership straight so that we can keep you on our rolls. At the end of this month, we're going to lose about 88 people who said that they were interested in being an A. And, unfortunately, going forward, we need you to pay your dues or we're going to drop you off the rolls. And then any of the ABs whose dues have lapsed, I think the starting date of when our dues started lapsing that we're tracking is 2014 all the way until this year. So, it's a 5-year window. So, is pretty cheap. So if you could, get your dues up to date for us, that'd be great. We're sending out as many emails as we can about it. But I want to ask these ABs of the year, why is membership so important for our ABs, and why would you tell your sailors to join?
Well, so for the basics, being a member obviously gives you a few perks. If you're not a member, you can't become an AB of the year, right? In addition to that, the Regina Mills Award, but also the ABMA offers scholarships as well. These are all nice and they're good perks, and those would be good things for you to look at. But I think the biggest benefit of being a part of the ABMA is you have extended from your small community of, say, your command, your ship or your shore station, to a very much larger diverse group that has so much more knowledge. When I joined the ABMA a couple years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, my knowledge increased extensively, and it allowed me to do my job even better. And it's just been extremely beneficial.
Stephanie, how about you?
So I joined the ABNA as an airman, actually, out here in San Diego. I joined it, and it just gave me that better knowledge, and then the network of the community as a whole. And then you have a network of all the commands, all the ships, all the other states where we have ABNA associations. So just that overall benefit is just there, the knowledge.
Nice. Well said. Well said. So while not a question, okay, so I'm going to go back to the board over here. Again, if you have questions for our ABs of the year, please drop them in the comment box below, and we'll get to them. One of your aunts over here wanted to send her congratulations. Whose aunt is this?
That would be mine. That's my aunt Tina.
Nice. Well, none of this is eligible without your family's support. And, you guys both have your AB family support, but it's good to see your shipmates, see your families joining us. Tina, we're happy to have you. We're glad you could join us, and thanks for the comment. If other families are out there, please feel free to congratulate your sailors, and we'll post them up as well. So happy to do that. We had a comment come. Let's see here. We had a comment come from a shipmate about our reservists. So he wanted to say he suggests definitely helping out the ABs on the reserve side, that they joined and don't have the hands-on experience as with most of us that were on active duty. And I don't know if either one of you care to comment about support for reservists, but I was a reservist for quite a while, and I just wanted to let you know that we are working to do more with our reserve community as we move forward. That is something that the national president and I have talked about a lot. So, shipmate, you guys are not for definitely something that's on the thoughts and the minds of the members of the ABMA, and we do look forward to working to get you guys a little bit more involved with that. Either one of you have anything you want to comment about reservists, or it's okay if you don't?
No, I guess just the first thing that came off the top of the head would be to have your reservist ABs get involved in the association, your local association. I think that would be a quick first step. Just find out which locals, based on wherever you're stationed at, which one's the closest. If you can, I know there's reservists all over the country. If you can get involved in the associations, and just dive right in, get in there and figure out what's going on. And then after, each meeting, talk to some of the members on each board and go from there.
I like that. To comment, on that a little bit. So I'm actually in the process of trying to put together a virtual chapter because in this membership process that we've been doing, I have identified so many ABs that are not a part of a chapter because they live all over the world. And I think that it's important that everyone has an opportunity to be a part of a chapter. So at the next board meeting, I'm going to be looking to get permission to start a virtual chapter. So if anyone wants to get information about that, or they want me, or they want to be a part of the organization of that, feel free to shoot me an email at pod.org. It's something Michael's talking about is, it's important that you get involved in these organizations if you're an AB. It's important that you're a part of these conversations, but there's not chapters everywhere. And so just like we're having this conversation between the three of us, and we're all three in different states, there's no reason why we can't also be having these virtual chapters, a virtual chapter that could come together, and we can meet regularly to address issues that either our veterans are having, our AB veterans are having, our AB retirees are having, or our ABs that might be on recruiting duty somewhere and they're not near the ABMA. This is the best way to learn about these awards and how to put in for the packages of them. And so we're hoping that by starting a virtual chapter, we would be able to do something like that as well. So thanks for the answer on that, guys. We had another question. Someone sent, there you go, Myron. I don't know who Myron is, but he wanted to send his congratulations.
Boom, boom.
There you go. And Katie's interested in a virtual chapter, so shoot me an email. We'll definitely talk about that. The detailer again, he has a question. How can you encourage E5 and below to take the back-to-back SDIP incentive? Either one of you know about the SDIP?
I would say we could encourage them just by going to those different platforms and learning from the different platforms, or even staying on the same platform, but getting that extra qualifications and knowledge from that platform. And then always the SDIPs incentive, the pay alone is a big incentive on that and a big encouragement.
What about you, Michael? You have a follow-up for that one?
Yeah, that's pretty similar. I sit right across from the Air Department Career Counselor, and we tend to have conversations about similar to that.
Nice. All right. And Kate, to follow up, this is exactly why we want to do this, because we have ABs that are out there in the civilian sector that can definitely help our ABs as they work to transition out of the military. It's a lot of what my background is also, so we're happy and to have all of you. Here's the toughest question that you're going to get asked, because it's going to put you on the spot, right? So, and if you answer the right way, someone's going to be happy, and if you answer the wrong way, someone's going to get angry about it, right? So, shipmate, I'll start with Stephanie. Who is the AB who has had the largest impact on your career to this point? Think hard about it.
Oh man, I know. So I don't think I can single out one personal AB that's had a huge impact on myself. I think that all my leadership, past, present, and all my sailors, like, and just honestly, anybody, all ABs have always encouraged me and had the biggest impact on me. There's no way I could be able to just single out one because everybody has taught me something different and pushed me in a different way.
Safe answer. Safe answer. How about you, ABH1 Riter?
Well, I'm going to play it a little bit differently. I'm still going to give a little safeness to it, but I'm definitely going to point out one individual. I'm definitely grateful for all my leadership at all the commands that I've been at, especially the STENNIS. The John C. STENNIS has been my most rewarding tour of duty so far, and I still have some time left. I love absolutely everyone that I work with. But if I had to point out one specific individual, that would be retired Commander Ronald Rancourt. I worked with him on my first two tour of duties, the USS Theodore Roosevelt and the USS George H.W. Bush. And he taught me so much, both personally and professionally. He gave me so many opportunities, not just as an AB, but just to serve. You know, he gave me the opportunity to work out in the community. He gave me the opportunity to go overseas and help out. Example, 2010 Haiti earthquake, gave me 24-hour notice, asked me if I wanted to do it, knew I was that type of person, sent me out there. And those are the things that I love to do in addition to being an AB. So I would say him.
I like it. I like it. You know, Stephanie, so many people have commented for ABH1 Riter, but you just got a shout out from one of my former shipmates, Landon Jameson, who wanted to tell you congratulations. And I were together out in Suda Bay, and he's a great guy. So I'm glad to know that you know great guys like Lando out there. So
Absolutely.
That's good stuff. Let's see. If you have questions for our ABs, if you want to congratulate them or whatnot, please throw the questions down below and ask them. We'll probably be live for just a few more minutes. I have one more question that we're going to ask them. They kind of answered a little bit earlier, but maybe they'll go a little bit more into detail. Here's another congrats up there for Stephanie.
ABFC.
There you go. Questions? We'll wait around for a few minutes to see if there are questions. So here we go. So, okay, last question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And we'll start with Stephanie.
10 years. Where do I see myself? So 10 years, I'll be pushing the end of 20 basically with plus 2 years. Let's see, I would definitely want to join the Chiefs Mess, be part of that Chiefs Mess, and then just keep pushing. I want to be on the platforms, helping sailors, encouraging sailors, and coming back to videos and things like this to talk about, how to become the ABs and strong ABs at that.
All right, ABH1 Riter.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm currently at 15, so that'd put me at 25 years, 10 years from now. I definitely see myself either as a CWO4 or a senior chief at the very minimum, which I'd definitely be excited for. And I'll working on my master's degree for organic chemistry and environmental chemistry. But throughout that whole process, 10 years, still continuing to serve our AB community in any way that I can.
Nice. Well played. Well played. So we've lost Stephanie. It looks like she might have got a phone call that popped up. So whenever it looks like she's coming back in. So there's another question. So again, ask questions. We'll do a couple follow-up questions and then we'll close it out. Rob Donaldson actually asked a good question. So we'll start with ABH1 Riter while we wait for Stephanie's camera to get up here. So shipmate, do both of you know who Commander Bob Gillen, retired, or ABC Willie Gann, retired, were, and how they impacted the ABMA? So we're going to throw you on the spot there. And then if you don't know the answers, I'll do a follow-up on it.
Well, first of all, Rob, thanks for the question. It's nice to have a conversation with a former AB. It's a very humbling experience, as has this whole process has been. Unfortunately, I don't know Commander Bob Gillen retired and ABCM Willie Gann retired. So I can't really answer that question on how they impacted the AB, but I can tell you that now you've asked me that question, I'm gonna go ahead and write down those names and look that up because I feel like if you're asking that question, it's kind of important. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
How about you, Stephanie? You ever hear either one of these ABs?
I have not, and I agree with ABH1 there. I have not, and I wrote both their names down, and I'm going to look into them as well because I feel like it is important, and then to get to know our heritage and our history. So it seems like those had big impacts on the ABMA.
Where you can go learn about both of them. You can go learn about both of them on the ABMA webpage, which is down below, abma-usn.org. And Willie Gann was one of the first ABs. He is one of our living legends. He was our first living legend. And in fact, anytime we write up a living legend, we consider the impact that they had on our organization based on the package that was submitted for Willie Gann, who not only was one of our first ABs, he also started the Aviation Boatswain Association. So big deal with that guy. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know who Bob Gillen is. I have a feeling I do know who Bob Gillen is, but I don't want to also incriminate myself. But we'll make sure that we follow up with that. But it's good you guys wrote both of their names down because you both should be learning about them. And we'll help you get that information as well. Shipmates, are there any other questions that you have? We'll stay on live for just a few more minutes here. Otherwise, we have drilled these sailors long enough. They did a good job. I'm so happy to have you as our first guest. You guys have set the bar high for these other ABs of the year that we're looking to host. So seeing no other questions really pop up, I'm going to go ahead and turn over to each of you to give a closing remark. And we'll start with Stephanie.
Awesome, thank you. So just again, I want to thank you, Michael, for having us on the broadcast. I want to thank, past and current leadership, all my sailors, all my mentors, peers that have guided me and just mentored me to get to this stage in my life. I'm going to continue to work hard, continue to push. Shout out to every candidate that was eligible for AB of the Year. I know that each and every one of us have been working hard and are well deserving of this award. And just, again, thank you to the AB community in a whole.
Yeah, thank you.
ABH1, Michael Riter.
Yes, Michael, thank you. I appreciate this very much. Again, humbly experienced, extremely honored. It's been a joy to do this live chat, and I don't want it to stop. I want this whole process while we're on this platform to keep moving forward. I encourage every single one of you that is out there, not just active, but retired and reservists. If you have questions, if you want to know anything, if you need anything, reach out to me. I'm the type of person that'll answer my phone at 2:47 in the morning. Shoot me a Facebook message, communicate with me, whatever you need. This is a community and we're on this together. Thank you.
All right, shipmates. So listen, I'm actually going to offer you guys a challenge here. It sounds like you both want to be engaged with this throughout the year. This is a first opportunity that any of the AB of the years have ever had for this. So why don't we do this? Why don't we sit down and consider coming back together in a couple months and let's do this again. Stephanie, I know you're going to be on deployment at some point, but it's okay. If Michael, if you want to jump on, let's give you this platform, okay? So whenever you guys have something that you want to put out and share, or you want to do a Q&A session with your ABs, let's bring you on and let's do a follow-up. All right, but let's go ahead and plan on maybe once a quarter, every 3 months or so. We will go ahead and bring you guys back on to talk about your progress of what you're doing, where you're at. Again, Stephanie, we know you're going on deployment, so if we miss you, we'll definitely make sure that we bring you back on. Maybe if you hit a port call somewhere, maybe we could do a live session whenever you're on in a port call, and we'll definitely make sure that we keep you engaged with this. If you want to write anything, if you want to post anything on our Facebook page, please feel free to. We will share your comments just like we do the detailers, right? So if there's a message you want to share with your shipmates, please send it over to me, and we'll make sure we get that up. So that's something that I want to offer to all of you. So I don't see any other questions coming. So I'm going to go in the big screen for a second, and I'm going to talk to the ABs that are out there. So shipmates, listen, this is the first of what I'm hoping is many different podcasts going forward. And so what I guess they actually can't hear me if I do that, so apologize. So what I want to do is I want to help tell the ABMA story a little bit better. So if I've contacted you and you're and you are a former Aviation Boatswain Mate of the Year, please consider when you would like to come on board. I'll be sending an email out to find out when you're available to do one of these podcasts soon. If you're an Aviation Boatswain Mate of the Year and you haven't spoke to me yet, it's because I don't have a contact information for you. So please message me on the Facebook page, shoot me an email at podcast@abmatechusn.org. Let's find a time that we can talk about this for you. I want to share your story. I want to also give you a platform to share with you. We've lost a couple of our ABs of the year, and so I also want to share their story. If you knew an AB of the year who's passed away and you want to share that story, let's talk about it. Let's bring it on. Let's make this podcast something that can be shared for all of our ABs going forward. If you missed the broadcast, or if you know a sailor who missed the broadcast, it'll always be up on the Facebook page. It'll always be up on our YouTube channel, but you can also check it out on Apple Podcasts by looking up the Aviation Boatswain's Mates Association. You can also look up the Flight Deck Times podcast, and that's where you'll find it. And you can listen to the re-airing of this at a later time without having video. You can listen to it on your car ride home. You can listen to it on your way to work or whenever, right? So this won't be the only thing that we're going to talk about. We're also going to start reaching out to our living legends that are alive. We want to start telling their story as well. So I haven't started reaching out to the living legends, but if you are one, if you know one, please email me with their contact information. A lot of information has been lost throughout the years of passing the membership folder to different membership coordinators. And so we're finally at a stage where we have that under control. We have a new program in place. And so we just want to make this organization better for you. If you're not a member of the ABMA, please consider joining. It only costs $22 a year. If you want to join as a life member and you're a young person, the most it would cost you is $115, right? If you're in your 80s, it costs you $5 for a life membership, okay? So if you guys are interested, we can only do as much as we can with the resources that we have. So the more the resources that we have, the more things that we're able to do. Next year is our 50th anniversary. Those guys are planning one heck of a celebration for us as we get together to talk about the business of the Navy and really allow us to celebrate our history and heritage. So I'm looking forward to working with the San Diego chapter on that. And anyway, shipmates, that's all I have. I haven't seen any other questions come across. So with that, I'm basically just I'm gonna sign off. But I'm gonna bring our ABs of the year up one more time. Here they are. Here's ABH1 Stephanie Peterson, ABH1 Michael Riter. We're so proud to have you guys. We're looking forward to working with you guys over the next year. And shipmates, we'll see you all about the fleet.